You good now? What shorts you got on today?
My old game shorts.
Those from 21?
21.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this week is the CrossFit Games. The
Yes.
individuals are going in.
Individuals.
Is it Dallas?
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth, sorry. Well, they're like next to
Dallas, Fort Worth, Metroplex. Arlington's in the center. I grew up in that area.
I did not. I've never been to Texas.
Yep.
How hot is it right now in Texas?
Real hot.
Like how hot?
Like, I don't even know if I have the words. Like hot.
So how is it going to be for those athletes on that field?
I mean, and I'm not sure. They're having stuff outside too?
I thought they said Farrington Field.
Oh yeah.
Farrington. I don't know where that is.
I wonder if it's I don't know. Is it around the TCU area, one of the schools, the colleges? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but if they do have some events outside, holy moly.
I'm 99% sure they're going outside for part of it.
Yeah, I think they got to run and man, it's going to be freaking hot.
So can we talk about the CrossFit Games today?
Yes.
Excellent.
How we relate and how people relate is kind of the topic. Number 9.
It is number 9.
Yeah.
How many times have you heard somebody say when you tell them that you own a CrossFit gym, "Oh, I can't do CrossFit. I saw that on TV. That stuff's not for me."
It's way too hard.
It's way too hard. It's the first thing that comes out of people's mouths because ESPN is covering the CrossFit Games. The Masters CrossFit Games in Birmingham at the end of the month are being live streamed. So it's a lot more exposure. We'll get there. But people, darn it, I wrote another 5 burpees. People think that when they come in, they've got to walk on their hands and swing around on the rings and lift insanely heavy weights off the floor. And that's just not the case. So you've been to the CrossFit Games 3 times. This will be your 4th year coming up. How is the programming for the competitive, very serious CrossFit athlete looking to advance in that process or even compete locally or regionally compared to the experience that you've had at really any CrossFit gym and specifically ours? How is it different? I'm interviewing you today.
Yeah, it's very, like, if that's the route you want to go to be the tip of the spear, if you're an individual, if you're in the teens, if you're 18, 19, if you're in your mid-20s, blah, blah, if you're a master's athlete, you want to get to the games, whatever you want to do, extremely, extremely difficult. It's the 1%. Okay. So you have to do more to get there. But if you're trying to relate that to what we do in a CrossFit gym.
And CrossFit as a method for health and fitness.
Totally different. Listen, whatever you want to do, if that's your goal, you can do whatever you set your mind to, but it's a lot of hard work. But I think people, and I think this is where you're leading, I think people get it mixed up because CrossFit is not about the games. No. It's about health, wellness, longevity. It's getting people off the couch. It's getting people off of medications. When people talk about a deadlift, it's learning at age 50, at age 40, at age 60, at age 70. Whatever, to bend over and pick something up.
Safely.
Yeah. Work in the yard, be able to throw stuff over your shoulder, be in the kitchen, be able to reach high, a clean and jerk, a push press, get something off a shelf. Like moving, being healthy. And other people do other sports outside of the CrossFit arena. What just makes you healthy and better. So people get really in shock or like, man, that's really cool, or oh my God, that's really hard, or I can't do that. And it couldn't be further from the truth. The focus is not the games. Yes, it's great to see all that.
It's a sport.
It's a sport. And if you want to do that, hell yeah, let's go for it. But it's about health and wellness. That's what your affiliates are. That's what your CrossFit gyms are. And there's so many scaling options to get you to be proficient in good movements and be healthy. So I went on a tangent there.
It's okay.
We can go very deep, but it just depends on what you want. And I don't want people to get scared. Everybody that told me that I communicated with that was scared to make a decision to come through our doors because they were not healthy, or they were overweight, or they couldn't move, or they had ailments. Then they tell me, "Oh my God,
the best decision
I've ever made."
Now, I do think there is one parallel, and I'd like your opinion on this, between training for the games and training in the gym on when I say weekly, I mean it's really almost daily basis, but that's a different conversation. And that is patience. How long from the time you started, what year did you start CrossFit?
We debate this. 2010, 2011, right around that window.
Yeah. Okay. What was the first year you went to the games?
2018.
Okay, so that was, if it was 2010, we're talking about 8 years, maybe 7. So it's maybe 7.5 years.
Yes.
To go from, now you were already in good shape coming out of the military and having a healthy lifestyle in some ways. It wasn't necessarily CrossFit specific.
Yes.
But it took 7 years to get to where you wanted to be, correct?
Yes. And three years of major disappointment, being close
over and over and over. Okay, so it took a lot of patience to get what you wanted.
Yeah.
When people start CrossFit and they see people on TV, they think, I'm going to come for 2 months and I'm going to have a 6-pack. Or, hey, I can't do a push-up yet, but in 3 months, I'm going to be doing strict pull-ups. And that's just not the case.
Yeah. Now, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Some people, like you said, might have.
They're more genetically gifted.
Sure. And we can talk about all the different types of people, but what we're really referring to is the consistency over time. And it's funny you want to talk about, because I was thinking about it, I was driving in the car, some of people's major downfalls when they come through, if they see that workout on the board and they see the RX, or if they see who they try to compare themselves to that, they come in and they're like, I got to do that. And, you know, unfortunately, they're not equipped or strong enough, haven't been doing it long enough to really do that and put in the correct effort, or maybe they get hurt, or maybe they disappoint themselves because they can't do the weight and they got to lower the weight. You gotta stop all of that. You know, you gotta take steps backwards and build that base slowly. It is okay to scale. Like, it is highly recommended to scale. And when you're doing that weight, you know, say it's 135 for men, okay? And the guy is doing 95 pounds, you know, and you get very proficient with that movement, and you start moving fast and you start feeling good and you crush that time. You're like, oh, wow. Then it's time to progress. People don't do that.
No.
And we constantly tell them, I'm like, lower the weight. We let our egos, we let our pride get in the way. And those are some of the biggest downfalls that I see.
I don't think people realize with the scaling and how to use that to get better. We're doing a workout today and we're scaling it.
Yeah.
This is a great example, because it's a sliding scale. It's all perception.
Yeah.
But we do that all the time.
The games athletes, they put out a workout, and there was a bunch of deadlifts at 225, 100 to be precise. Like 50, it's a chipper, and then a bunch of stuff, and then 50 again. So we're like,
don't forget 25 rope climbs.
Yeah.
In addition to 100 deadlifts at 225.
Right. So like if they're doing 225 as a master's athlete, we're going to scale it back. Probably 185. 125. Yeah. Maybe it's 205. Maybe it's I don't know. But we know that it's a scaled down version.
On top of that, less repetitions.
Yes. And we thought about it in the sense of, could we do it at a heavier weight? Sure. But it's going to take so much longer of a time, and you lose the intensity. And that's what I'm talking about. Like intensity, this is for time.
Yes.
So you want to move heavy loads the quickest possible time that you can, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. And that's how people get better. But you got to consistently show up. You got to consistently be smart about what you do. And I know we always tell our clients that. And a lot of times, you know, they tend to jump up a little high, and we're like, hey, you know, back it down. Yep. This is what, not only will it keep you safe, it'll get you doing better form, but it'll let you train longevity over time. And I will reiterate, it's not about the CrossFit Games. No. It's about health and wellness, longevity over time. Man, super, super important. So that's what we teach as an affiliate, and that's what we want to do. And don't get me wrong, we love competing.
I was looking at that time because last week we went a little bit long.
Yeah.
We're going to have to be wrapping up here.
Yeah.
So since you are the one that has been 3 times and now going 4, if you had one piece of advice for people that want to compete, and then another piece of advice for people that just are coming in because they really just want their life to be better, what are those 2 things? I'm putting you on the spot here.
Whew. And how many minutes?
You got 1 minute, man. This is for time.
First of all, if you want to compete, I don't care who you are. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care where you're at. The time frame to get there, don't know. Everybody's different. But you can do it. But you have to start small, and you have to be consistent. And you have to come in and really start using measuring sticks about what we're doing in class and start crushing it.
Yeah. You got to crush class workouts first.
Yeah, right.
Really and truly.
Right, because ours are difficult. We don't, there's this old saying, program for the best, scale for the rest.
Yeah.
We're going to program for the tip of that spear, and we're going to scale to based on where you're at. You start coming in and really, really doing well with those, then contact me, and we will start progressing. We'll talk about where you're at. There's a lot of things you have to do. We got to see if you're a slow twitch athlete, if you're a fast twitch.
I know where I'm at.
What your maxes are. What is your pulling power? Yep. What is your push? Those are types of things we can add, but my recommendation is being consistent and really start crushing these class workouts.
And consistently come to class and crush the workout.
And express to the coaches what you want to do, right? Now, the other question was?
For people that are coming in that are not looking to compete, they're really just looking at trying to better their life.
Be smart. Don't be afraid to lower the weights. Make sure we move proficiently. If you're struggling with something, tell us. We watched that. You know what I mean? Scaling stuff. And I say this all the time. People at my work in sales are like, hey, what can I do better, Bruce? What can I do better? Get in front of more customers. Get in front of more customers. Because you sit back and you let other people get in front of customers. In a 90-day range, the good ones get in front of 120 to 150. Well, this other person only got in front of 30 and 40 in 90 days getting in front. So where am I leading to that in this? Show up. Yeah. Show up. Show up on all the days you're supposed to be. Be consistent. Stretch. Right? When we tell you to, show up early in class. Get the body ready. Lower the weight. Make sure we're moving proficient in the workouts. And then over time, you're going to see a lot of consistency. You're going to start feeling good. We got a nutrition plan that we're getting ready to launch. That's part of it that I would tell that you need to participate in, because it's not just about the workout. So there are 2 sides of the coin, but the main one, show up and be consistent. Yeah.
I think that's good for today. What do you think?
Almost 14 minutes.
Perfect.
Awesome. It's Sunday. What are you doing to prepare? But you're not going to see this till Tuesday. So
hopefully you did.
Yeah. And if you mess up and you don't start off right on a Monday,
move on, man.
Move on. Have a short memory.
Goldfish.
Have a short memory. Put it to the past. Show up today and be consistent.
Good.
All right?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.